Hey there, welcome to my channel. Let's continue with our series. Today in this video, we are going to work on Go syntax test drive. So these are a couple of outlines I have prepared, which is we are going to cover in upcoming couple of videos. I want to make you comfortable with the Go syntax right before jumping into the real functionality of the application, right? So if we cover all these outlines, then certainly we will be having a kind of comfortable zone where we can understand the Go syntax and we can write code faster. There are some advanced topics also there, which is we are going to cover it up like in a step-by-step, episode by episode. But these are the things extremely essential at this moment just to try to familiar with the Go syntax. Let's jump into the source code. In the previous episode, we have created our Go project, where we have spinning up our first HTTP server using Fiber framework, right? You can see we have imported this one right here. So right before writing some code, let's try to understand the syntax overview of Go. Go syntax is quite similar just like C and C++, because Go has historical connection with the C. If you dig deeper, then you can see the people involved on the creation of the C also involved on the creation of Go. You can get the complete understanding of the Go history from Go official website. Alright, so what are the things we are going to cover today? So first of all, you can see these are a bunch of like code we have writing here, and you can see this is a kind of package and we are importing something, and this syntax is a little bit different, right? So the way if you are coming from the JavaScript, and you can see like we are writing something like this way, right? While it comes to write a kind of function or something like that. Go is also pretty much similar, right? So instead of the function, it is just to try to shorten the name of the keyword to making a function, just like using func keyword. Right, so you can see this is our main function, right? Which is we have created using func keyword, right? And inside there are a couple of lines are there, which is called fmt_println. And this is a kind of package which is we have imported, right? It's called fmt, and it is coming with like Go standard library. And this specific function we are going to call from here, right, by passing some kind of parameters. In Go, we no need to terminate our statement by using semicolon, right? So that is not required. Now you can see this is weird symbol, right? So what exactly this symbol is does? So this symbol exactly it's saying we are declaring a variable along with we are assigning something right here, right? So that means while you wish to declare a variable and initialize it by providing some kind of value, then you can use its short form of declaration. Other way around also we can do that. We will check that in a minute. So now let's take a look what is package. Right, you can see this is package, right? We have used the package main and we are importing this one. So let's try to understand what is package and what is import. A package is a group of organized source code file to achieve some functionality. As an example, npm package, if you come from a JavaScript or maybe NodeJS background, then definitely we have npm packages, we can install it, right? So as an example, we can use install Axios to get some or maybe make some HTTP call to get some HTTP data from there, right? So this similar way, the package is a kind of some kind of, you can say, a logical boundary right here where all these source file, it is just keeping it together to perform some operation. To understand the package and import, I'm going to take help of some different IDE. In my case, I'm going to use Golang. So Visual Studio Code also better, but Golang is more efficient for specifically for Go development. And this is really cool IDE specifically for Go development. It is free for the students and the professors as well as if you have a valid college or university email ID, then certainly you will get it for free. And otherwise you can get it trial version also for a month. And if you like it, then you can purchase it. If you wish to create a new project in Golang, then click on the new project. And here you need to select your path. You need to type your project name right here. Here by default, let's say awesome project. So instead of this one, then you can put your project name, right? And it will pick up like Go root directory from directly from here, because already we have installed Go in our previous lecture. So you can just create the project here, right? But in our case, already we have the project, which is we have created with the help of Visual Studio Code. The same project we are going to open it here. So just click on this project. So now you can see this is our Golang where we have opened our project. Now let's try to take a look at the package. As you can see, our package is main, right? So that means, as I said, package is a kind of it's a collection of source code which is tied up together to perform some operation, just like the fmt. If you click on fmt, you can see with the help of external library here inside the Go SDK, you can see in fmt, you can see a bunch of files are here. As an example, errors. So errors it belongs to fmt package, right? And you can see this format belongs to fmt package, and the print it belongs to fmt. Scan, this is also belongs to fmt. So while we are importing the fmt package here in the main file, then we can access all the required functionality from that package also. You can see println, scan, printf, scanf, scan, all those stuff, right? And these are the functions exactly belongs to separate files. Like if you go to scan one, then definitely like scan belongs to this page, like scan one, right? If you go to any kind of print function, just like we do here, so see printf, scanf, and all those stuff. So this is how package is working, right? So while we need to use some package, then we need to import it right here. Now let's try to create a file right here, right? I'm going to create a file that is called helper, right? And now you can see this file is exactly marked as a kind of main, right? And in the Visual Studio Code also, you can create the same way, but you need to mention the package name, or some extensions are there which is you need to install. Then it will automatically come with the package name where you are creating the file. So now see, main file, we have the main package, and helper file also we have a main package. So let's try to create a function. Let's try to create a function here. So func keyword is created. Func keyword is used to create function. My helper function, right? And here let's say fmt.println I'm helper, let's say. So this function we are going to use somewhere, right? Now if you go to the main.go, then if you're going to use that function, just like my helper function, then can you see it's not using the import at all, because this main file is also inside the main package, and helper also inside the main package. So in this case, you no need to import that thing, right? The way we do in our JavaScript, or maybe NodeJS, or maybe TypeScript, you need to import the file on the top, then only you can use it. So in the Go paradigm, it is working such a way, like if you're assigning a kind of package, then it is able to reach out to that specific helper function itself, right? So it is saying like, though we have two different file, we are in the same scope, same logical boundary we have, right, inside the main package. So this is how it is working. Now let's take a look in another example. If I'm going to create a kind of directory here, this is called, let's say, config, right? This is a kind of directory. Here we have created a directory. So directory means it's a kind of package, right? So if you're going to create a kind of new file here, like settings, and can you see it's automatically marking up kind of package is a kind of config, right? It says like this is a kind of directory, and our IDE is smart enough to pick it up like which package it is exactly. So right now, if you're going to create a function here, func, let's say load app settings, right? Then println loading settings, right? So now you can see this load app settings is a separate function which belongs to the config package, and if you wish to use it in the main.go, then you need to import it first here, right? Our IDE is going to help us to automatically import that thing right here. And how we can do that? Let's say load app setting. Can you see right here it says like config.load app settings. If you press enter, then it says like Go e-commerce app. So where this Go e-commerce app is coming from, this is the exactly root package, root directory. As I said, the directory is equal to the package, right? So package name is Go e-commerce app and config. Now this config is exactly identical to this config directory, right? But if you have a same kind of like directory, right, or maybe the similar kind of package you need to use, sometimes it happens like we have a maybe conflict with the same directory structure, but this specific root package name going to be different, just like github.com or maybe something else, but maybe let's say config is going to be same. And what we will do in that case, we can use some kind of different convention also, just like app config will be like this, and this app config we can utilize here. So now you can see we are not going to use this config here. We are using this app config. Now we can see we are using app config. So on behalf of config, we can directly use app config something like this way. So one more thing, Go is strictly type language. So that means if you declare something, you must have to use it. Otherwise, you need to remove it, right? But other way around, you can do this one. Let's say if I'm going to comment it out, right? Then this specific import is going to be go away, right? Right now it's gone. But somehow what happened, we cannot directly, maybe sometimes our package is going to be needed indirectly. Maybe it's related to Fiverr or something else. At this moment also we need to use that one. So this is often happening with the PostgreSQL or maybe some kind of DB packages. In that case, what we can do, we can just keep that specific import, right? I know it is not being used, but still we need that. Then just put a kind of underscore here. Then you can comment it out. Can you see now it is still there, right? It is still there. It's gonna work. Now let's move forward to the data types, where we will discuss how data type will be look like and what are the things are available right here in terms of data types. So what are the data types are available in Go, right? There are two types of data types are available here in Go. One is called basic types. Another type is called composite types. So let's try to take a note here. So basic types are all the primitive types of the data types, which is we can say in another language, or that is we can define just like int, float 64, and string, and boolean, right? So these are the basic types. In another language, maybe in the TypeScript or JavaScript, or maybe C#, we can say the primitive types, right? And the composite types are just like, so in the composite types are something like array slice, map struct. So these are the types or composite types, which is we can say in another language complex types also, right? And one more types it is available, just like it's called a pointer type. So pointer type it's a kind of pointer of all the types, whatever the basic and composite types are there, we can just make a kind of pointer types from there, right? So this is how it is working. Let's try to utilize all these types in a practical way, right? So first of all, let's try to understand how we can declare variable here. So there are two types of variables are available here in Go. One is called var and another is called another is called const, right? So var is a mutable, which is you can change throughout of the program, right? But the const, it is immutable. It's like once you have declared it, you cannot change it at all, right? Now let's try to declare some variable here. Per age will be int, and per the height will be float 64, and per first name will be string, and per is employed bool. So now you can see we have just declared some kind of variables right here, and we have not assigned any kind of value. To assigning a value, it's pretty much same just like other language. Just like age will be, let's say 29, and height will be, let's say 138.5, and first name will be, let's say Joe, and is employed will be true. Right, so now we have assigned all these things. Now can you see it is throwing some kind of error, right? It says like this specific variables are unused, right? Once we have declared something, we should have to use it. Otherwise, we should have to remove it, or we need to just like mark it just like underscore, and then we no need to use it at all, right? So then it'll not going to give you any kind of error. So this is how Go is working. So let's try to utilize all those things. Like let's say we are going to print it out all the values. As an example, fmt package is we are going to use to print it out, just like in the above line we did, right? Println age, right? Now can you see the error has gone because we have utilized all these variables right here. Now let's try to spin the server. So at least we should supposed to see some kind of line here. So I'm going to just delete this line. This is not required, right? We don't want to interrupt like whole console. And now go run main.go. So can you see it says like this, right? The age is 29 and height is 138.5 and name is Joe and is employee is true. We cannot determine like if it is an age or if it is a height or if it is a name or it's a kind of Boolean value or something like that, right? So how we can do that? So there is a kind of formatting stuff also available here in the Go, just like other languages does. Now let's try to print it out all the formatted values. So fmt.printf, and here we can put our format just like an age will be the value. So in that case, what we can do, we can use %b. This is a kind of format specifier which is going to say like we are not aware about whatever the type of the variable, but we need the value of that variable. So in that case, you can use the %b, right? So in that case, let's say age, right? And now let's try to make a couple of copy, age, height, first name, employed. So in this case, let's say first name. This is going to be first name, or maybe first name. Let's try to make this one height. This is going to be height, and this is going to be is employed. Employed, question mark. This is going to be is employed. Yeah. Now if you're going to run the application from here, let's say, now can you see it says like age is 29, height is 135.5, first name is this one, employed is true, right? Now let's try to put a line right here, so at least we can see what exactly I'm going to break the line, right? So let's try to break the line here. Now we can see %b is formats the value in a default format, but we know our age is a type of int. In that case, we need to use the correct format specifier for this. So let's try to do that. This is a kind of like decimal value, which is a kind of float, right? Float 64. In this case, we can say %f for float, and this is a kind of string that says %s for string, and this is a kind of Boolean value, which is going to be true and false. So let's mark it as a kind of %d. So now if you're going to run the application, so it will be going to say the same type of output. Now we have used the specific format specifier rather than using the default one. So this is how we are just printing out all the values, right? Now let's take a look. What are the other ways you can declare the variables? So here, I'm going to comment it out everything right here, right? And instead of this age, I'm going to put a kind of colon here, and here also colon, and here also colon, and here also colon, right? Now if you're going to run the application, it's going to say the same output. Can you see? It is showing the same output, right? Now can you see? This is the another way we have used to create our variables. We are saying like, just to create a variable that is called age and assign the number 29. And now age is, this age variable is automatically going to infer like what type of data it is going to be assigned. Based on that, it is going to be predict like type of the data type. And the similar way for height also, it is saying like, can you see this plot 64? And the first name also, it says like it's a string and it is a kind of Boolean. So Go is fairly able to infer on the time of declaring the variable, whatever value is going to be assigned. Based on that, it is going to assign the type of the variable right here, right? So why we are using like this way, it could have done like this way also. So while we have some use cases, just like, we are going to declare a variable here. Maybe in the later stage, we need to assign the value. At that time, you can just go with the var, right? And if you know, like, I have a kind of value for the variable on the time of initialization, I need to assign it. Then you just go with this approach, right? So perfect. So this is how we are declaring variable, and this is the way we can work. There are a lot of other use cases also there. That is we can experience by step in Power episodes while we are writing some code for our actual functionality. We are not going to write some code just like a plus b equal to 10 or 20 or something like that, right? So what we are going to do, we are going to implement all the stuff in the real way by writing our application features. So I'm just going to give you a clue, like, how the syntax will look like and what are the things at this moment you need it. And step by step, you are going to learn all those stuff as soon as we are moving forward with the episodes, right? So now let's move forward to the other type, like what we can do, like maybe you got a kind of clue, like we have declared a variable, then we need to use it, and how the syntaxes look like along with the variable declaration and all. And can you see there are no any kind of termination of like the statement termination also, just like we do in other language, right? And even syntactically it is a little bit different also. So if we are going to write a kind of conditional statement also, just like if the age is like greater than 65, right, 65, then we are going to say like fmt dot println the senior citizen, or else if, right, age is greater than, let's say 16, right, the 16, this is going to be like, yeah, this is going to be something like adult, right? Now can you see we are not using any kind of parentheses right here for writing the conditional statements. And a similar way for the for loop as well, as if you're going to write a kind of for where I'm going to use a short form of variable, just like I equal to 0, then I less than 10, then I plus plus, right? And then you can see this is the way we are writing, like there are no any kind of parentheses. So this is how basic syntaxes look like, and declaration of the variable. Perfect. Then let's move on. I'm gonna take a break here. In the next episode, we are going to work on our composite types, where we will discuss about array, slice, map, struct, etc. Alright, then see you in a bit.